Hello everybody, this is me, SM19J, and welcome to my discussion video for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And basically what I'm going to predict will be seen in this Direct. And yeah, now originally I did have this video pre-recorded like last week, but then the previous Nintendo Direct happened for the Switch One, and I sort of changed things up a bit, specifically with how I'm going to make my predictions, and well, at least for the games, I should say. But yeah, so in this video, I'm going to be discussing the console itself as well as the games that we'll be seeing. Some things I will say should be obvious that we'll see, but I'm still going to include them here. Anyways, and yeah, so after let's just begin with the console itself first. Yeah, the obvious thing that we should all see at this direct is the Switch 2 having more power than the Switch 1. Obviously, you don't make a sequel if it's not better than the first one, you know? Um, Sometimes, I should say. But yeah, but obviously with consoles, it makes sense that the sequel to the previous console or the successor to the previous console is more powerful than the first one. So yeah, now in terms of the power specs, I don't know for sure if it'll be the same level as the PS5 or an Xbox Series X. And knowing Nintendo and how they don't really go up to the same level as their competition, I will say this should probably be on the same level as like a PS4 or an Xbox One, which is what I've been hearing in terms of like speculation and rumors. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that and just say, yep, same power as the PS4 and Xbox One. And that's still pretty good. But obviously it would be better if they have that same power as the PS5 and Xbox Series X and the closed PC, maybe even the Steam Deck. I don't actually know how powerful the Steam Deck is compared to the Switch, but I do know that it's still a pretty powerful handheld compared to the Switch One. But yeah, again, power, PS4, Xbox One level, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say 'cause I'm not like a tech guy, so I don't at least tech like a hardware guy, so I don't know too much about like power and specs and what you should have in the console, what you shouldn't have. But yeah. Anyways, moving on, I do want to talk about there will be more storage in the Switch 2. I think it's still pretty dumb how these the full Switch models have either 32 gigabytes of storage or 64 gigabytes of storage. I think it should just be 128 gigabytes or 256 gigabytes. If we can have 1 terabyte at inside the main inside of the Switch 2 at launch, or once you get it, or once you get the console, that would be pretty good. I don't think that'll happen, but okay, let me rephrase. I don't think that'll happen, but it would be pretty cool to see either way, just because more storage means you don't have to go out and buy a micro SD card as soon as you get the system, because that actually is pretty annoying. And also, those micro SD cards can be expensive sometimes, man. Like my goodness, like $200 for 1 terabyte. Like I get it. I know I understand why, but man, that is such a price and it's an expensive thing to buy. Um, and yeah, so more storage at launch, I want to see that, and that should lead into my next thing in terms of with how pricing of the micro SD cards. I want to talk about the pricing of the Switch 2. I want to get that out of the way first, just because that that will actually, that I think that would be a big topic of discussion once the that happens this Wednesday. So in a few days, which I'm very much looking forward to. But yeah, anyways, back to pricing. I I want to see this be at $400 minimum. I would be fine with 450, but if it's $500, I do not see myself buying that at launch. I just cannot. $500 for still an underpowered console slash handheld compared to its competitors like the PS5 and Xbox Series X. That's just absolutely ridiculous. And the reason why I'm bringing $500 into this is not really because of other countries. I think for other countries that they might have $400, but for the United States, I won't get into it too much. But we all know the U.S. tariffs are going on right now. It's a big, uh, controversy and whatnot, and it is having an effect on goods from other countries that are coming into the United States. So And that could very well happen with Nintendo. As much as I would like to see them not charge $500, they might do it just because at the end of the day, they can be a greedy company sometimes. And honestly, they know for a fact that people will still buy it anyway, so the pricing to them is not really going to matter. Even though they do take into the consideration of the consumers when it comes to the system pricing. I just hope it's not $500. I just cannot see that being a thing. I just can't. But it could very well happen. Again, I don't want to see that happen. For $400, I would love to see that. That would be my prediction, $400. But if it is $500, I could very well see that happening. But yeah, but it'll just be sad to see, like man, Nintendo like really is gonna charge us that much, like half $1,000 for a console that, let's be real, is still like it's pretty much just a small upgrade from the Switch One, either way. But yeah, I just hope it's not $500. Again, for me, my prediction would be 400 to $450. If it's in that price range, I might get it at launch, or try to get it at launch just because I do know the scalpels are gonna be a thing. It's gonna be crazy to get it online. But yeah, my prediction would be $400 for the price of the console, and if it's not, then I will be shocked if it is. If it's not. But anyways, moving on to the Joy Cons themselves. We do know that they're magnetic. Um, or at least we know from the patents. I don't think we've gotten word from Nintendo themselves. But yeah, I do want to see like obviously how it works and how do you put them in, how you take them out. I also do want to make sure that they're not gonna break from putting them into the console and then taking them out constantly. I know there has been some concern about that, so I hope Nintendo clears that up and says, hey, don't worry, we make sure that these Joy-Cons aren't gonna break either way. And then I also do want them to confirm no more Joy-Con drift. I hate that so much. I can't believe they never really fixed it. They did give you the option to set it into the support team to get it fixed for free, which I do appreciate that. But knowing that Joy-Con drift still happen and it really puts a dent in the consumer's wallet is just such despicable. It's so dumb. I can't believe it's still a thing. So for the Switch 2, I want to see them say, "Hey, no more Joy-Con drifts. We figured that out. Don't worry." Especially since they're gonna be having lawsuits for days if that keeps happening. But yeah, and then moving on to like the last thing I will say about the Joy Cons is obviously the mouse feature. We've seen that in patents, leaked patents, so public patents. Who knows? For a few months now, and I would love to see them talk about it some more. Um, Especially with how it works and what games are compatible with it. I do see Nintendo being the only company to use that mouse feature. I don't see any like third parties having any interest, especially since it will take more developers time to put code into that thing again. So I very well see Nintendo being the only ones using that for now, and then third party, who knows? But yeah, and then the one last thing I will say about the Joy Cons is the C button that's on the right side of the Joy Con. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out what that is. But for me, I saw this in a comment section, but I do actually agree with that comment, and that is the C button is actually a chat button. I could actually see that happening because obviously C chat starts with a C. We already have a capture button, so it doesn't make sense for the capture button to be on the right Joy-Con again. Um, and then I can also see just pressing the chat button, and then it immediately pops a screen to the right side, and it shows you like, hey, here's a chat inbox and whatnot. Here's the people that you're messaging, and yeah, that's pretty much just it for the Joy-Cons themselves. Now moving on to the design of the Switch 2, in terms of on the screen, I would like to see a new home screen for the Switch 2, make it actually have personality, and be different than the Switch One, because I am a bit worried that it'll be the same as Switch One. Um, I just hope that that's not the case. I would love to see them. There'll be themes. I would love to see the photos actually be on the home screen rather than You have to go into more apps. You have to click the all button to have the groups pop up and whatnot. So I would love to see it almost be like the 3DS home screen to where you can make photos and then the photos will pop up on the home screen themselves. So that way you're not having to go all the way into more apps and whatnot. Just I don't want to see any more steps for that, okay? And the themes, I think I've already said that. But yeah, just have personality on the home screen. That's all I want to see. I don't want it to be bland anymore. But yeah, moving on to the eShop, I would love to see that being improved. I would love to see it run better than the Switch one. Because my goodness, that's a that how it runs on the Switch one is awful. It lags so badly. Like my goodness, trying to load other games and whatnot. And I would love to see there be music in the eShop. And then I would also love to see quality control with the eShop. Because my goodness, the eShop on the Switch one is filled with shovelware and bad games. I'm just gonna say that right now. Mobile games, and whatnot. There's still a ton of good games, but you really have to dig through so many. Like there's so many garbage games, especially ones with AI. All world that has to go. I can't believe Nintendo's even allowing that to still be on their consoles. AI image for a game that needs to be gone, deleted off the eShop no matter what. Because yeah, because that's dumb to see on. Like I can't believe that. And back in 2017, you never saw that. Now in the year 2025, you can see that when you're looking at great deals or recent games. You can see one game has like AI all in it. It's just like, oh, that's so stupid. I can't believe that. So quality control, I do hope is improved on is a thing on the Switch 2 eShop because my goodness, does it need it? All right, and then moving on to some other stuff. I would love to see the internet browser make its comeback to the Switch 2. It's been absent on the Switch 1, and actually, hold on, let me make sure because I do know that that's not a thing. At least it shouldn't be. I'm trying to. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna say it's not. Yeah, oh wait, hold on, let me see. I got it on my. If my Joy-Cons can't even load, there we go. But yeah, all right, cool. So no internet browser. That I can't believe that took me some time to figure that out. But yeah, so that'd be cool, especially with the mouse feature being added. You can't have the mouse you can't have the Joy-Con as a mouse if you don't have the internet browser on it. So that'd be awesome to see if it. So I do predict we'll see that on the Switch too. And then I would love to also see achievements being added. Granted, we do have some achievements not only in the game, but on the NSO app on the Switch One. But that's very small. And it's just like play this game, uh, for like a few seconds, or play a game with online support. Back up your save data for like 20 points each. I would love to see an achievement system being added in which it gives you platinum points for the My Nintendo reward. Because we do need more ways to earn platinum points. Since the mobile game seems to be dying one by one. The only two mobile games left that give you My Nintendo Platinum points is Fire Emblem Heroes and Super Mario Run. And then you do have like My Nintendo missions on the My Nintendo website themselves. But most people tend to ignore that. And then you also have the NSO app, like I just said, which only gives you like 4 missions each week, and they're pretty small. Only 20 platinum points. And again, you can use those platinum points for profile icons, or you can even use them to get some cool physical rewards on the My Nintendo site, which they can be pretty expensive sometimes. So obviously, not having a lot of rewards or achievements to go after is pretty much a bummer. So I do hope we do have an achievement system that gives you platinum points, and also a ton. And I know for some people that they don't really care too much, but for someone like me and others who do buy My Nintendo rewards, like physical or digital, it would be pretty cool to have um, more ways to earn platinum points once you're pretty much done with the mobile games and also the NSO missions. And then also, I would love to see. I would love for them to bring back the gold points. Don't know why they removed it. There has been speculation about it being like reimagined or reworked for the Switch 2, which I do hope that's the case because that was such a good deal. And it's such that we're not going to have that on the Switch 1 anymore. Oh, we probably don't even have it on the Switch 1 anymore at all. I forgot when. I'm pretty sure it's already discontinued. I forgot when the day was. It's supposed to be at the end of March, which AKA right at the end of March. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that the door points are already gone. But yeah, but I would love to see the door points being brought back because again, why would you even get rid of them in the first place? But yeah, but that's pretty much it for my console predictions. And moving on to the games, I'm gonna try to be very quick with this in this section. Um, Obviously, we're gonna see the new Mario Kart game. That's to be expected. It was in the Switch 2 reveal trailer. And we are going to get more information about that as well as the release date, which I do predict will be a launch game for the Switch 2. Obviously, you have to have something for the Switch 2 at launch. And Mario Kart is a big juggernaut. So having that as your launch date game is actually going to be pretty cool. And now what we're going to see in that game, I don't really know for sure. I'm not going to make too many predictions. I would love to see the skin or the skins or costumes from Mario Kart Tour being added into this game. Because I would love to play as Dr. Mario. I would love to play as him so badly. If it's a separate character, cool. But if it's a costume for Mario, that's also cool. But yeah, like why make those costumes for a mobile game if you're not gonna add them to a new Mario Kart game like that? That's just such a waste of developers' time. Um, but so yeah, so it would be pretty cool to see the content from Toll make its way to this new game. Since I do also think Toll Mario Kart Toll is going to be ending soon. When who knows? But if if Mitomo could end, Doctor Mario World could end. I still want Doctor Mario World back. If Dragalia Lost ended, I could see Mario Kart Toll being added to that list as well. But yeah, the content from the mobile game needs to be brought into the Switch 2 game. And as for the title itself, I don't know. Mario Kart X, Mario Kart 9, I don't care. Mario Kart around the world, who knows? But yeah, I just want to see how this game looks and why it's on the Switch 2. That's pretty much it. And the release date being the same as the Switch 2 launch date. So yeah. Moving on to Metroid Prime 4. Now, this actually does have I might have to change this one a bit because obviously with the Nintendo Direct, we saw this past week we did see Metroid Prime 4. We did see more footage of that game. Still with the 2025 year, so we don't really have a specific release date. But I'm still going to predict that we'll see Metroid Prime 4 at launch of the Switch 2. It'll be a cross-gen game, and it makes sense. Like, come on, this is a game that people have been waiting for since 2017. I can very well see Metroid Prime 4 getting a new trailer at the end of this direct, with the release date being the same as Switch 2 release date. It'll almost have that same treatment as Breath of the Wild did back in January 2017, where Nintendo was teasing the game at the end of the presentation, and then they had a very cool trailer with it, and then at the end they showed that March 3rd release date for the game as well as the Switch 1 release date. I can see that very well for Metroid Prime 4. Like, come on, you have to do it. It's a game that people have been waiting for so long, pretty much 8 years now. Close to a decade. Um, so yeah, so I do hope Metroid Prime 4 does get released for the Switch 2 on launch dates. I think that'd just be cool. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say for Metroid Prime 4 because I'm sure we get more information in this direct as well um going for that game. But yeah, moving on to Pokemon Legends Z-A. I did have this one back then before the Switch One Direct. But we did get more information from that game for that game in that Switch One Direct. So we might get like a small snippet of it here. But I don't think it'll have that much of a huge presence. So yeah, Pokemon Legends Z-A. I'm a little bit iffy on that one now. Back then I was like, yeah, we'll see Legends Z-A for sure in this Switch 2 Direct. But after that Switch One, yeah, no, I don't see it. But yeah, but now moving on to my actual predictions or the things that I want to see in this direct. The first one is obviously the biggest one. The new 3D Mario game. I want to see that so badly. It makes sense. We haven't had a new 3D Mario game since technically Bowser's. Fury. But if you want to go with the last sandbox Mario game, that was Super Mario Odyssey all the way back in 2017. So again, almost 8 years since we've had Odyssey, and 4 years since we've had 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, and I would love to see this new 3D Mario game be open world. As much as I love the sandbox, I think now with Bowser's Fury, we've tested the water of a 3D open world Mario game, and I love that mode so much, and I would love to see it be fully fledged in a $60 to $70 price game. Which is funny because I'm pretty sure 3D World was also twice the 60 bucks for the Switch. But yeah, I would just like to see the Mario team just go all out on a 3D open world game because that'd be pretty cool. You know, if Zelda can do it, I think Sonic did it a little bit in Frontiers. I know that one was more like big sandbox, multiple sandboxes rather than like one giant world. Um, but I would love to see Mario tackle that 3D open world because I that'd be so cool. And I know when they show that 3D Mario game, I'm gonna freak out because I can't wait to see it. And for the release date, I do expect this to be a holiday one. Um, Obviously Mario does tend to release around the holiday times. It happened with Odyssey back in 2017, but that game came out in October. I can see that being the same thing for this new 3D Mario game. An October release date which show isn't around the holiday time, but still, it'll be sort of around there. Either that or it's going to be Pokemon Legends Z-A in October, Mario in November. Who knows? But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. And I might wait to get the Switch 2 at launch just so I can get the Mario Switch 2 edition. Because obviously they're going to have something Switch 2 related for the game to release alongside it. Whether it's just Joy-Cons or an actual console itself, themed around no themed around the new 3D Mario game. uh, because yeah, it happened with Odyssey. It sort of happened with 3D World. They had their own like Mario edition. It wasn't themed around 3D World, but just Mario itself. Um, but yeah, but it did sort of release close around to that game. But yeah, I do expect it to happen with this new 3D Mario as well. All right, moving on to Zelda. Now, I was expecting to see Zelda in the Switch One Direct. That didn't happen in terms of remasters. So I do think we have to see something new with Zelda. Like, come on, you can't just be like, "Hey, Direct for a new console." No Zelda. Just FYI for all you people out there. So I do think we'll see something with Zelda, but I think it'll be remasters or a remake. Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD, Ocarina of Time remake. Who knows? It has to be something of that's not sadly that's not really new. So no new 3D Zelda and no new 2D Zelda. We got 2D Zelda last year, and then we got the Tears of the Kingdom back in 2023. So I don't think we're that deep into the development yet of the next iterations of these games. So I do expect to see like at least remasters or remakes of um some old Zelda games to be here. The next up is Kobe. Now Kobe's also I was expecting to see Kobe in the past direct. That didn't happen. So Kobe is what I don't know what's going on with Kobe. So hopefully Kobe does have an appearance in this direct. Now whether it is a new 2D game or a new 3D game, I don't really know for sure. That it has been some time since we got an actual new 2D Kobe game. The last one was Kobe Star Allies, and then obviously we had Kobe's Return to Dreamland Deluxe a few years ago, and then obviously with 3D with Kobe and Forgotten Land. I think that got released back in 2022. Yeah, it did. So 2 to 3 years now since that 3D Kobe game. And I can't talk. I can also see how Laboratory reusing those assets to make a new Kobe game like very fast. So yeah, I do see some. I do want to see something new with Toby in this direct. Since we didn't get anything for the Switch One direct, not even a spin-off either. So yeah, so HAL Laboratories is definitely cooking up something for Toby, and I do expect to see here as well. Moving on to some other Nintendo franchises like Star Fox. I would love to see Star Fox being brought back. I don't know. I can't like, and I'm just say this right now. These. Oh, hold on. Before I even mention that, Fire Emblem. I do predict that we'll see that in this direct. in a few days. It was back. Fire Emblem Warriors got revealed back in the new Fire Emblem game. I don't remember if they specifically called it Warriors or not back in 2017. But I do expect it to have that same treatment as it did back in January 2017 as well. So something new with Fire Emblem, obviously that just makes sense. All right, now going back to my games to my franchises that I think I'm iffy on. Star Fox, I'm iffy. I would love to see it there. Smash Bros, I don't think so. I would be shocked if we do see something. Um, just because Sakurai has been, he's been going off on his own thing, making the YouTube videos with his YouTube channel, and then he's sort of been he did go back to making a game, but who knows what that game is? It could be Smash Bros. It could be a remaster or remake of Kid Icarus Uprising. It could be something brand new. Who knows? But yeah, Sakurai is more than just a Smash Bros. Developer. So we can't. I can't really say for sure if the C Smash Bros. There in this direct. So yeah, on that one I'm iffy on. F Zero. I don't think so. Nintendo loves their F Zero 99, so I think Nintendo's just gonna keep focusing on that F Zero game, and not so much on a brand new one. But if there is a brand new game for F Zero, hey, congratulations to all you F Zero fans! You got yourself a new game. Happy for you all, and yeah. Moving on to Pikmin. I don't know. I just can't. Pikmin 4 came out what in 2023, 2024. I can't remember. But yeah, Pikmin 5, who knows when that game's gonna come out? Because my goodness, Pikmin 4 was in development for like years back during the Wii U, and then it made its way to the Switch, which I'm happy for that, for that fan base. They finally got Pikmin 4. And then Metro Prime are gonna have that same experience with Metro Prime 4 this year. So yeah, Pikmin, I don't know if we'll see, maybe DLC or something, I don't know. But yeah, Pikmin, I'm also iffy on that one as well. And then I think that's pretty much it for my no, first party games, in terms of Nintendo franchises. So moving on to third parties, I do expect that we'll get some announcements from third party developers or third party studios. Um, Now, whether or not we'll get game footage, who knows? But yeah, I do expect to hear the announcement of of course, we'll be having third party games and whatnot. So like EA obviously going to be there. Activision going to be there. If we get Microsoft and Sony or Xbox and PlayStation games, is I know we've been getting that here and there announced during this direct too. That actually be crazy. I would love to see like Halo, God of War, not the actual, not the recent ones, but like the older God of War games. Um, Ratchet and Clank, who knows? I'm trying to think of like Xbox games. Forza, that would be pretty cool if Nintendo just came out in this direct and said, hey, my Xbox and PlayStation, yeah, we're gonna be getting some of those games too from this developer. So yes, so stay tuned. But yeah, either way, increased third party support. I do expect to see that, and then obviously as well with third party, we'll be seeing a ton of indies as well. Now, whether or not we'll see indie games at this direct, who knows? And maybe that was the point of the last direct, was to show third party and indie games before the Switch 2 direct. Because yeah, what Nintendo could announce support for third party and indie, but they might not show a lot of third party and indie games. So yeah, I do expect to still have that announcement of yeah, we're still going to be having indie games on our console, and yeah, and with that, that's pretty much it for my predictions video. I I still want to keep my expectations low just because that way I can be excited when the Direct 2 does happen. Because I'm not gonna lie, that previous Switch One Direct did sort of disappoint me just a little bit. Um, and it's honestly just because like I would have loved to see smaller Nintendo titles, aka like eShop exclusive games show up from Nintendo, but that didn't happen. So hopefully the Switch 2 Direct does happen. Although I will say Tomodachi Life 2 and Rhythm Heaven sequel, that's awesome. I know people have been asking that for years now. So it's awesome to see those fan bases actually get those games. But it does like that they won't come out to 2026. But yeah, But either way, that's pretty much it for me. I'm done rambling. This is already 30 minutes long. So yeah, so I'm gonna have to make sure that this video goes up today, because yeah, I do want to make sure that this video is up a few days before the direct. Because I don't want to post it on April Fools. I don't want to do that. So yeah. So that's it for me. I hope you all enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and let me know what your thoughts are in comments below. What are your predictions? Do you agree with some of my predictions? Do you have some other predictions that you think will show up in this direct for the Switch 2? And yeah, what are your thoughts and predictions? Just put them down in comments below. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it for me. This is Super Monkey J signing out. I will see you all in the next video.